What is going on, beautiful people of the world? My name is Garrett Wolf, and I am the host of the #1 podcast for people who are trying to go from saggy flabs to six-pack abs. I've built my body over the last 8 years, and in the last 3 years, I've helped hundreds of online clients shred unwanted fat and embody the best version of themselves. Now, let's jump right into today's show. Welcome, everyone, to week 5 of the Phys Fit Freak Academy. This is now the cutting phase, and I'm going to be talking all about in this training why we don't do cardio, why we hate cardio in the Phys Fit Freak Academy, and we don't do any cardio. I don't prescribe any cardio to anyone, and here's basically why, guys. Basically, it comes down to the energy system pathways that your body runs off of. So when you do long form cardio, this is the kind of cardio that I hate, the kind of cardio that I tell nobody to do, the kind of cardio that I prescribe for anyone. And that is any kind of long form cardio I deem as any kind of cardio over 15 minutes long. So I would never run on a treadmill for 15 minutes, or I would never do any kind of long form cardio like a HIIT workout or a circuit training for anything longer than 15 minutes. And here's why. It's because when you're in a starvation diet, which basically means any kind of caloric restriction, your body is kind of starving. It literally has to use the built up ATP and the stored body fat for fuel, for energy to survive. And so when it does that, and you put your body under even more stress and even more strain by doing long form cardio, you're telling your body that not only are you in a famine, but you're in a dangerous environment that you need to get out of, and you don't know how long you're going to be in it for. So when your body thinks like this, basically tells your body to hold on to fat as best as possible. It's like, we don't know how long we're going to be in this famine. We don't know how long we're going to be in this state. We need to hold on to as much fat as possible and get as good at utilizing that fat as possible so that we can kind of have as much energy for as long of a period of time as we need. And it does this by breaking down and paring down your muscle mass instead, because muscle mass can come and go, but body fat, you need food, and your body knows that, to hold on to body fat and to stay warm, to keep you insulated so that you don't freeze to death during night. But muscle doesn't do that. Muscle is not going to keep you warm. Muscle is not going to keep you alive, but fat is. Fat will keep you alive, and your body knows this. So this is why we don't do any kind of long form cardio. It's because it actually teaches your body to hold on to the fat as best it can, and your body is very, very good at adapting to any given response. We've talked about this, the principle of specificity. So when you're doing cardio and you're in a starvation diet, your body's like, oh shit, we're probably dying. We need to get as good as we can at holding on fat and as efficient as we can at burning the fat that we actually have. So it's going to store fat harder. It's going to be harder to burn more fat, and it's going to be easier to burn down and pare down that muscle for your body to stay alive. So that's why we don't do long form cardio. Not to mention it's boring as fuck. That's probably honestly the main reason, is because it sucks. Nobody likes doing cardio. So why would you do it, especially if you don't need to? Instead, I prescribe low intensity steady state cardio. So that's just adding in, more steps throughout the day, or more calories burned at rest throughout the day. And this is done by, number one, increasing your muscle mass, right? Which is what we did in phase 1, weeks 1 through 4. Or just simply going for walks throughout the day. Simply low intensity, steady state. Your body's not worried. Your body's not scared that it needs to survive. Your body doesn't think that it's in a famine or starving, because you're not placing as much stress on your body, and as much stress that, needs recovery, that needs adaptation. Everybody walks. We all walk throughout the day. So if you simply introduce more steps throughout the day, you'll burn more calories throughout the day. You'll pare down that fat, and you won't lose muscle, because your body doesn't think that it's in a famine, and your body doesn't think it's kind of struggling to survive, and it'll know exactly what to do. Just burn down that fat. Not to mention, it's way more effortless to go for walks. Not to mention, it's a great way to clear your mind, gain a little bit of focus, maybe listen to a podcast or listen to an audiobook while you're on a walk, or just listen to nature, breathe in the fresh air. Nobody does that enough anymore, and that's why we don't do cardio. That's why I'm Garrett Wolf, the cardio killer, because I hate cardio. I don't do it anymore. I started off with long form, intense HIIT cardios, training sessions in my basement way back when. It turned me into a stick figure. I was starving as fuck, eating 1,100 calories a day, and it's just not a place you want to be. It's just not a good place to be in. So What we want to focus on now is just ramping up your muscle, which we did in weeks 1 through 4. And now we can do things like lowering your calories or increasing your low intensity steady state to increase that caloric burn throughout the day to make sure you're actually losing some fat. And that's why we don't do cardio. All right, guys, if you want to do cardio, there is a way to do it right. Basically, any way that you can do cardio under 15 minutes. So if you want to run on the treadmill for different segments of 15 minutes, if you break it up throughout the day, if you want to do 30 minutes, you can do one in the morning, one at night. But anytime you're doing a long form cardio activity for longer than 15 minutes, it's going to switch over the energy system pathway and really start making your body kind of maximize holding on to fat, burning down muscle, and just make it all around better at holding on to fat than it would have been if you just went for walks with low intensity steady state. So that's why we don't do cardio. And that's the end of week 5. I'll see you all in week 6. Let me know how everything's going. Make sure you're still posting the progress pics in the Discord. Make sure you're showing everybody your progress in the gym and letting us know how everything is going so we can do this together. All right, guys, I'll see you all.
Thank you so much for tuning in today. Hopefully you got some value. If you did get value and you want to learn a little bit more about how you can go from saggy flabs to six-pack abs, just head over to my Instagram @_Garrett Wolf, DM me the word six-pack, and I'll reach out to you and see if I can help. Again, thank you guys so much for tuning in today, and I will see you all in the next podcast episode. Peace, peace.